Khorne here, and today I will be sharing with you my thoughts on the campaign AI beta. So if you're not aware, there is currently a AI beta going on that aims to change the campaign AI. So a few things they wanted to change with the AI was to make minor factions live longer, to increase the aggressiveness of the AI towards the player if the player is doing better, but lower it against the player if the player is doing worse. They've also tried to make it so that the AI will actually use its armies rather than sitting inside of their settlements, which, with this example here, it's kind of not really working all that well. And they wanted to make the AI have better decision-making. Now, I did give feedback, but realistically, me just giving one feedback doesn't really do anything. So I thought I would make a video just to showcase my findings here. And more of what I actually want to do is get your guys' opinion. So there are a few things I just don't really understand why people want what they want. Namely, minor factions living longer. So let's actually start off with that. Minor factions living longer. They actually do live longer. They actually survive past the... Like, this is turn 48. They survive past the first 50 turns. And that's not actually because they did anything. So, in this campaign, we live streamed it. Toddy, all of this territory, I gave to him, basically. Right? We killed Festus, we beat up Greenskins, we beat up the Norskins. We gave all of this territory to Toddy. We gave this territory back to Nordland as well. Like, they also died, we brought them back. Telbackland didn't do anything this entire campaign. Nobody declared war on them, and they are at war with the scaling, but they're not doing anything about it. So, I don't actually think, like they claimed, that they enhanced the potential of minor factions. What I think they did was make it so that the major factions don't declare war on the minor factions as often. So, particularly in this campaign, as an example, Vlad von Karstein, he didn't actually declare war on Stirland and Telbackland and Everland like he does usually, and then just proceeded to conquer them. No. In this campaign, he was at war with Elspeth, and he actually just trespassed through all of this territory, managed to somehow win against Elspeth, which almost never happens, and I actually had to intervene and stop him from finishing her off. So I had to confederate her, sell off this territory to Everland, and then proceeded to kill Vlad. Now, I don't really understand the obsession with minor factions people have, and I don't really understand why particularly minor no-name factions. If we have a look in this campaign, it's like Toddy alive, Telbackland alive, I confederated Stirland, Everland alive, right? I confederated Elspeth. What about Marcus Wolfhart? He's dead. He's just dead. Marcus Wolfhart is dead. What about the bald man of the Empire? Oh, look at that. He's also dead. He's just gone. So, I need somebody to explain to me the obsession with keeping minor no-name factions alive when legendary lords are dying left, right, and center. What is the reason for it? Like, in this game, we are paying 9 euros, $9, whatever, to buy a new legendary lord. So why are people so obsessed with keeping a no-name Helmut Fairback, I butchered that, alive, when Marcus Wolfhart, that cost you like $15, dies? And so does Volkmar. Why? I don't understand. Why the fascination? I just don't get it. But sure, yeah, minor factions live longer. Not because they're doing anything, but because the major AI factions stop declaring war on them. So Vlad here completely didn't care about Stirland or Everland. He just wanted to kill Elspeth no matter what. And then he wanted to kill me. So that's mission accomplished, right? Then when it comes to AI aggressiveness, like they're supposed to be more aggressive towards you, the better you're doing. I found that that is kind of ish the case. But the problem is that the factions that are aggressive towards you are way too small to actually do anything. So in this campaign in particular, it was Yvres that decided to be aggressive towards me, and they threatened me for money, and then they declared war and then proceeded to do nothing. So yeah, sure, you're gonna get different war declarations, I guess, but it's not gonna do anything. So the AI might be more aggressive, but in all the wrong ways. And I can show in a different campaign we did with Drashoes. So in this particular campaign with Drashoes, I've been declared war on by Ungrim and Thorgrim, where both of them threatened me for money. And those are the only two war declarations I got. Well, yeah, no, I declared war on Karl Franz. So those are the only two war declarations I got in this entire campaign that were actually the AI trying to be aggressive towards me. In the rest of the campaign, I was usually the aggressor. So I declared war on Grimgor, killed him. I declared war on Imrik, on these guys. You know what? There was... So the Silver Pinnacle, the Elamian Sisterhood, they actually did declare war on me as well. And then they immediately said, okay, we don't want to be at war with you, just let us peace out. Because I was so strong, I had so much territory, they were... So I'm guessing they were forced to declare war because of the AI changes. And they didn't want to be at war with me, so they ended up paying me to peace out. So... AI being more aggressive, I think, has completely backfired on them because of the fact that minor factions live longer. I think what's happening currently, because this campaign was a breeze, right? There was nothing in this campaign that even came close to stopping me. What I think is happening currently is that the AI major factions are stun-locked with each other because they're not killing the minor factions, because they're completely ignoring minor factions and are just killing each other, and they don't have time to go after you, the player. They kill each other, and then I had Thorgrim with one settlement threaten me for money. Yeah, you can see how well that worked out for him. So there is nothing in these campaigns currently that is preventing you from just occupying the entire map. So let's have a look at what we did. So this is a 55 turn campaign. We have 75 settlements. We have 19 armies, out of which, let's say, 6 are actual armies, and the rest are just either a single lord or half an army, right? Like, if we have a look, good army, good army, good army, half stack, trash, doom stack, right? Good army, right? More or less doom stack. So you get the point. We have 75 settlements, we have 13 armies. There is nothing here that can stop us. And the AI from like what they said they tried to do, make the AI not sit in their settlements and actually expand their territory. This is pretty much the same as it is in every campaign. There is nothing here that's noticeably different. So these are the same size empires they used to build before the beta. So here, nothing has changed. But what has changed is in the first 50 turns, where the AI is so stuck killing each other, like major factions are so stuck killing each other that they don't grow at all, and you as the player just swoop in, kill them all, and basically it's done. Like this campaign here, it's over. this campaign here is completely over. There is nothing here left for me to do. Now, let's have a look at a Astragoth Iron Hand campaign that we did on stream as well a while ago. So, let me boot it up. So, in this campaign, we have 69 settlements. Nice. We have 20 armies, which again, let's say... actually, no. You know what? In this campaign, we actually have less armies. Why? Because of my economy. So if you rewind to the previous example, we had a much better armaments and raw material economy. A much better one. Because I was able to upgrade my settlements. Because I didn't have to worry about going to war with Thorgrim here, for example, who is building ridiculously strong armies. So I do have 2 armies here. Most of this should not be that difficult to deal with. But this is a really big stopgap. Right. Here, I don't think I'm at war with Weak, but he actually finished off Emmerich instead of me. I'm playing a different campaign, so right. Not a completely fair example, let's say that, but still pretty close, right? So, I'll say, even though it says we have 20 armies, I'm pretty sure we have more like 12. So, having a look, this one's not an army, this one's not an army. 1, 2, this one's not an army. Okay, this one's a pretty good army. This one's not an army. So, we have more half-sized armies because we were committed to fighting the AI on all fronts. So we had to fight against Katerin. We had to fight against Thorgrim, who is really big. We had to fight against the Greases. Yes, we kind of did. Not really. Who did we kill here? Oh, we killed somebody here. Doesn't matter. Right, we killed Grimgor. We killed Kolak. We killed... I don't know if we killed Tamikon or Kolak here. Right. And we're gonna have to fight against Boris. So this is a 58-turn campaign before the beta AI, where we are struggling a lot more to deal with all threats surrounding us. Whereas in the previous one, the people that did declare war on me were so small and insignificant that we just killed them instantly. So this campaign is going much better, much worse than the previous campaign. We have less armies. Our territory is way less upgraded. Right, in the previous one, there was so many tier 5 settlements. We are just getting tier 5 settlements here. We're just getting the ability to recruit good armies here. Right, it's just happening. Whereas in the previous one, it's just completely over. So, campaigns, a lot easier, I think, because minor factions get ignored by major factions. I think that's what's happening, and I think they should probably look into that one. So, my conclusions are AI factions, minor AI factions live longer. AI might want to be more aggressive, but they're smaller than they were before the beta, so they kind of can't do anything about you. AI factions still sit in their settlements and don't really do anything, but maybe this is the exception with what's his name? Luen. Same sort of deal with here. So, this guy here, he had 2 armies, 2 wars here. Yeah, here's the other one. They were coming up here to deal with me. Instead, they are running away. Now, they could be running away because they want to go and fight Queek. That could be the case. And they are actually main threat clan Moors. But I've noticed they started running away as soon as Karl Franz came here.
They will obey.
So, as soon as a really strong army came here, because I had these 2 armies here, and the Wa armies came all the way over here. So they sat over here, raiding Everland. And then they just force-marched back home. That pretty much happened when Karl Franz came over here. So, AI, still a coward. Still an absolute coward. And I don't know why that is not a priority to fix. So you can see Wulfric here. They said they made it so that the AI will make better strategic decisions. Wulfric is at war with me and with Kostaltin. Kostaltin is occupying Wulfric's territory here. right? He's just going around, occupying his undefended territory. What is Wulfric doing? Wulfric wants to inconvenience you as the player so bad that he just does not care about his minor territory. He just wants to come here and sack this settlement here. You think he wants to occupy it? No. He wants to sack it and inconvenience you. The AI is still a bitch. They will still go around trying to attack your undefended regions and not focus on your armies at all. Unless they outnumber you, unless you're in force march or recruiting, the AI will just ignore your armies and go for the undefended territory. Which I really don't understand why that is still a thing in the game. So personally, in conclusion, I just don't like the AI changes. I think that minor factions living, I cannot understand it one bit. Why do you want Telebackland or Stirland or Everland to live over Marcus Wolfhard or Volkmar the Grim? Why? I just cannot really understand that at all. You currently have a bug in the game where Grom cannot occupy Bordalo. So what he does on turn 2 or 3, he attacks it. There's an army sitting in Bordalo. They're gonna run out to sea because somebody also had a brilliant idea that the AI should be able to run away from port settlements like you as the player can do. And now they're gonna run away every single time you attack them. What happens when Grom attacks them and they run away? Grom gets confused and stops working. So he just sits there in zone of control of their settlement and doesn't know what to do. Once his end turn goes away, the AI army, it comes back into the settlement. And guess what happens? Next turn, same thing. Grom attacks, they run away, he gets confused, stops working, ends the turn, they come back, rinse and repeat, until somebody comes and kills Grom. So I don't get why you would rather why you would rather Stirland is alive, or this guy here is alive, instead of fighting Grom. Like, are you not afraid of Grom? What's the reasoning? Why would you rather play with no-name factions than Legendary Lords? I don't understand, but I think if people really want that, it should be a checkbox. And it should be a checkbox that says AI factions will not expand past their first province. So they're gonna conquer one province and then wait for you to come there and kill them. And I think that's perfect for people who want to roleplay and actually want to play around with minor no-name factions. There you go. It's like, I don't get why that is, for example, not implemented. Why do people want minor factions to survive more than Legendary Lords when you're literally paying for Legendary Lords? I cannot comprehend at all, but sure. I would do it like that. Make a checkbox. I think that the campaigns are a lot easier now, especially on Legendary. Another big thing I think is a problem that the developers don't actually understand is just how quickly the campaign goes. So, this is turn 48. This campaign is more or less over. There is nothing left for me to do here, so I could keep playing, and in the next 20 turns, roughly, I will have Confederated Everland, Telebackland, Toddy, and Norland. I will have gotten, just from them, more than 20 settlements. I can easily push out Kislev out of the Empire's territory, and I can easily get rid of, say, Dursu and kill the backstabbing Bretonians. Because screw them, right? And that is basically, like, this campaign is over. There is no point in continuing this one, for example. And I've noticed in the survey that they put out, it basically goes like, early game is the first 30 turns, mid game is from turn 30 to 70, and late game is turn 71 plus. A late game happens a lot faster. It can vary from race to race. Let's say, for example, the Tomb Kings. It takes Tomb Kings a lot longer to get into the late game than, say, the Empire. where I basically have tier 5 Altdorf, tier 4 other settlements. I can recruit my best units. My economy is almost maxed out. There is nothing more that I can do here to improve my campaign. There is nothing more I can do that will at all improve my campaign. This is pretty much done. And if you have a look at some other campaigns, like this is 103 turns into a campaign. I own 370 settlements here. I own 180 settlements here. This is turn 87, right? The Dresshost campaign I showed you, 75. 55 turns. This campaign here, 150 settlements. Turn 47. There is no late game campaign that's 70 plus turns. Once you hit 50 settlements, you've won the campaign. You don't even need to hit 50 settlements in a lot of cases. For example, here. I can already tell, like, this is completely done. Nothing more needs to be done here. And I think that the developers are underestimating just how quickly you play the campaign. So I would sooner say that the first 15 turns you would call the early game, then until turn 40 the mid game, and from turn 40 to 60 is already the late game, and 60 plus is basically just you painting the map. Like, after 60 turns, there is nothing more for you to do. And all this beta does is make it so you can get to your critical mass a lot sooner, because no AI faction is actually strong enough to put up a fight. Like, even before, currently in the live patch, I think that the campaigns are much more difficult, just because factions are not so focused on killing each other. They have taken out the minor factions, and they can more easily decide to declare war on you and start giving you trouble. And I know a lot of people play this game on the easiest difficulties, and can't really occupy the entire map in 100 turns. I'm not saying that the AI needs to be a lot more difficult to deal with on every single difficulty. I'm saying that on the highest difficulties, I feel like I'm playing versus a normal AI. I think that the changes to the minor factions living longer is a pretty bad one for higher difficulties. And if you really want to have it active, I think they really should just make it a optional thing. Like a checkbox, you check it. You want to play with minor factions? Great. I also think that the AI needs to be a lot more aggressive earlier on into your campaigns. Because currently, you can pretty much do whatever you want in the first 15 turns. And that is mostly fine. I think the first 15 turns where the AI doesn't trouble you too much is fine. But later on, I kind of really want to fight a much bigger enemy than currently exists. So, turn 50 here is 19 settlements Grimgor. Grimgor is too far away to do anything, so we can count him out. 16 settlement Katarin. This is way too small for a turn 50 enemy. I think that anti-player bias should actually be bigger, not smaller. So the AI should target you a lot more than it currently does. And I think the AI really needs to build much bigger empires. So by turn 30, I would say that if you were gonna fight Katarin, for example, she would probably need to have at least 30 settlements on turn 30. I don't know if they can do it, but basically just make her Confederate Kastaltin, all the Kislevites, kill everybody here. And then once turn 30 clicks, she instantly turns her attention to you. Like, maybe not Katarin, but let's say Gorbad, right? Gorbad's down here. He could easily just Confederate these greenskins, and I don't even know if there are any more. No, they're probably not, right? And then just kill Whoever's here, Barakvar, Thorgrim, confederate these guys, kill Scrag, and it's like turn 30, war on Karl Franz. Because Grom's basically dead. So really, I think that would make the campaign a lot more interesting. So having to fight a bigger enemy much earlier. Because the alternative is for them to slow down growth. Give you more supply lines and remove a lot of your faction mechanics. Right? So remove open the gates, for example. Send aid, unify, all of this. Just remove it all. That would be the alternative. So I really don't want them to remove player mechanics, like they did with Entrepreneur, for example. It's like, I want to have all of these amazing tools at my disposal to deal with the AI. But I also think that the AI needs to be a much bigger threat to you than it currently is for those tools to make sense. And people will bitch and moan and cry about, for example, Skulltaker's mechanic. It's like everybody's crying how Skulltaker is the most OP faction in the game, right? All you have indestructible blood hosts. There is literally a skip battles button right here. Look at that. You press that too easy, skip battles. That is the biggest piece of shit broken mechanic in the game. That is the biggest power creep there exists. And everybody loves it. Nobody's crying about this one. You're gonna lose the battle? Don't worry. Just put it down to easy difficulty and skip the fight. Just instant win. And nobody ever says anything about that, which is the biggest power creep in the game. So I believe that faction mechanics like Icket Claws, Nuke, like Malachai's, Spirit of Grungy, Unkillable Gyrocopters, stuff like that. I love having that in the game. But I think there needs to be a reason to have it. And currently there really isn't a reason to have it. And instead of removing it, I would much rather we got a reason to have to use those mechanics. So I really want to see a much bigger empire from the AI a lot sooner. And that means killing off minor factions quicker or confederating them. Like, ideally, they should confederate them. And I think that you as the player should also get a boost for your confederations. Because I think, like, if we weren't playing Karl Franz or the Dwarves or a lot of other factions that have trouble confederating, let's say High Elves, right? It takes so long to actually get High Elves to confederate. And if they ever do something competent, then it's just gonna increase the duration, or rather the turn time, before you can actually confederate them. So, yeah, I think AI should form a bigger empire sooner, have more anti-player bias, have probably more cheats, just so that they can send more armies at you. And I feel like that would be a better way to deal with the fact that you have such amazing mechanics as the electoral machinations that literally just give you 2 population surplus out of thin air, or send aid to spawn an entire army, right? Instead of removing all of this, I would much rather you have a reason to actually be able to use it. And people to play on lower difficulties can just have a checkbox that says, hey, I want to play with minor factions, and I don't really care about a challenge. Having no challenge whatsoever is totally fine with you. That's the checkbox. And then you can go around, play in the campaign like it's a sandbox, without a care in the world. I feel like that would be the best way of going about it. So, just to sum up my thoughts, I think that the AI beta kinda is a failure in comparison to the previous one. I definitely think that minor factions need to die a lot sooner. I think that AI major factions need to confederate a lot faster, build up an empire even faster, and have even more cheats and anti-player bias. As currently, by the time you hit turn 50, the campaign is over. You're gonna have way too many settlements. The AI is not going to be able to do anything about you. And rather than seeing mechanics get removed, I would much rather see the AI get buffed and you have a reason to use those mechanics. But that is pretty much all I had to share with you guys. So, I would actually really like to understand why or what you guys want from an update to the AI. Like, do you really want minor factions to survive before major factions? Like, do you really want Khorne to die so that Bastion can live and thrive? Like, I do not understand at all. This game is supposed to be a game where you play with characters from the lore, legendary lords, legendary heroes, fight against massive opponents, like massive armies of enemies. And instead, would you really just rather Bastion decides to declare war on you and you kill them in 5 turns? Is that really what you want? Is that really it? Like, do you really want Stirland to survive over Marcus Wolfheart and Volkmar the Grim? Is that really it? Because I really don't get that at all. I don't really get that one bit. And I really want you guys to just please tell me what it is you actually want from an update to the AI. But yeah, that's about it. If you enjoyed this rant of mine, then feel free to subscribe for future ones. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Khorne fights as one.